Hello, WealthLab users. Glitch here. Welcome to another episode of WealthLab Strategy Trading, where we take a look at my personal trading of strategies using WealthLab. And welcome to the Liberation Day special. Yes, Liberation Day. So the S&P, let's take a quick look here. The S&P is down 4.1%. The NASDAQ is currently down 5.2%. The Russell 2K is down 6% in a bear market. Most likely close there in a bear market unless something miraculous happens. So how is the meta strategy doing? Well, it's losing today as well, but it's only down about 1.5% today. So that, of course, doesn't feel good to be losing money, but a 1.5% loss with the averages down this much currently is not something to feel that bad about, I think. So let's take a look here at our current drawdown over the past 3 years. Let's zoom into our drawdown here. We're currently, so this is, since the trading day is still going on today, we do not see today's decline in this. This is as of yesterday, April 2nd. So as of yesterday, our drawdown was like just at about 8%, similar to the benchmark. We had this little rebound. So the benchmark is now going to plunge pretty steeply, while our benchmark should probably go down about another 1.5%. We'll see what happens in the last hour or so of trading, but that's kind of where we stand right now. We're still in the drawdown phase of the strategy, so let's see what happens. And speaking of gapping down, I was going to save this strategy for like the end of the series, but I think I'm going to talk about this one today since it had an entry, and it is called TQQQ Gap Buy. It basically looks for a 1.5% gap at market open. And if there's a gap at market open, it attempts to enter at 1% below the open price. So in a way, it's a slight variation of the 1% a week strategy. So if this happens to trigger on the first trading day of the week, then it'll take the same signal as the 1% a week. Otherwise, it basically tracks every day. So in order to trade this strategy, you do need to monitor the market open, and you need to see, is there a 1.5% gap down at open in TQQQ. If you run this strategy shortly after market open, then you will get a proper signal in the strategy window or the strategy monitor. I use the strategy window for my meta strategy as I shown in a previous episode. So I ran this today at about 30 seconds after the market opened, and I got the entry signal for TQQQ. Although I do trade this on a data set called Gap ETFs. And Gap ETFs contains two symbols, TQQQ and the diamonds. So I trade this on TQQQ and DIA. And we're now going to run this on that data set over the past several years, starting in 2010, since that's when TQQQ came on board. So let's go ahead and run that on those two symbols with 50% of equity. And we have an annualized return of 10%. We have a equity curve, which is pretty nice and smooth. There's some periods of drawdown here as the symbol recovers after a more lengthy downturn. But historically, this strategy, in the meta strategy, I trade this using 5% of equity. And if the symbol doesn't recover right away, this turns into a buy and hold. So we're basically waiting for this symbol to recover to at least 1% profit. So let's take a look at one of the more recent trades here. So let's sort by exit date. And we have the most recent trade here was in TQQQ, was actually, let me resize this a little. So it was actually March 31st we had the entry because we gapped way down here below. You see the open of the bar was here. Then we wound up buying 1% below the open of that bar. And then we sold the next bar at 4.6% profit. So let's see what happens with today's signal because we did get an entry in TQQ for today. Let's see if we get a quick exit or if this turns into a longer term hold. But this strategy will be on my Patreon. It is part of my meta strategy, and we will monitor its position going forward. But that's it for today, Liberation Day. So hopefully your losses were equal to or less than the 1.5% that I'm currently seeing today. So, yep, that's it for now, folks. Thanks for watching, and we will see you all on the forums.